What's up everyone? So after that video I made on being jacked, some of the questions I got were on how to make the traps and the neck bigger. So today I want to go into 10 movements that will make your traps and your neck explode. Not in a bad way, just in like a good way, like a bigger way, not in like an explosive way. So the first one is going to be any type of deadlift. So it could be a sumo deadlift as shown here, it could be a conventional, which might actually be better, it could be a Romanian deadlift, it could be a pin deadlift, a rack pull, really anything where you're really overloading the upper traps with a lot of weight. The second one is going to be a chest supported row. Now this is going to support the lower back and put you in a very safe and effective position to really work basically the entire back. If you row back more, it's going to be more lats. If you row straight up, it's going to be more traps. And if you flare your elbows and you pull to the side, it's going to be more rear delts. So if you row just straight up, it's going to be a lot of traps for the upper traps, the mid traps, as well as the lower traps. So the entire traps are getting hit with this movement. Number 3 is going to be the dumbbell upright row. I'm not a huge fan of a barbell upright row just because I think it's unnecessarily stressful on the joints, but using dumbbells can give you a little bit more freedom of movement, a little more range of motion to travel wherever you want to travel. So this is going to work upper traps as well as the middle and lower traps in order to keep your scapula in the right position. Of course, if you get any pain or discomfort, don't do the movement, not worth it. Number 4 is going to be the barbell shrug. So this one's pretty simple, just shrug up and then go back down. As basic as it gets. The range of motion is really short, so higher reps are definitely better. You can bend your arms slightly, you can use a slightly quicker tempo if you really need to. You can cheat with the hips a little bit if you really want to as well. But for the most part, I really just use lighter weight. I might use 60, 80, 100 kilos, somewhere in that range, and I'm really trying to feel the traps contract. Same thing with a wider grip. You might not be able to use as much weight. You might also need to use straps, but this is another good option. Dumbbells, another great choice. You can use them to keep a neutral grip. So this is definitely easier on the wrists, a little bit easier on the elbows, a much more natural movement. And yes, if you are getting a true trap contraction, it's hard to really keep a straight face. You'll actually start to wince because that contraction is so painful. It's such a tight, full, deep contraction in the muscle. All right, cable shrug. So this is another good one. Because you are pulling inwards as well, you can hit the mid traps, and I really feel like this follows the fibers a little bit better. So because the upper traps are not perfectly vertical, if you are shrugging inwards at an angle, you can get a much better contraction. You can also experiment with your arm position. You can internally rotate, externally rotate, bend your arm slightly, just to find whatever gets you that sick, delicious, scrumptious contraction. Bro. My favorite is probably the one arm cable shrug. So this one you can shrug up and you can actually use your neck. So the trap connects from the scapula, but it also connects upwards to the neck. So your neck position, your head position, is going to affect how that contraction happens. So you can see me, I'm moving my head to try to find that contraction. And you can even twist slightly to try to get an even better contraction. All right, moving on to neck exercises. So this is a dumbbell lateral neck flexion. This is going to be working the side of the neck. Don't go super heavy on these. Don't use like a 40-kilo dumbbell. That's just, asking for natural selection. Don't be part of the Darwin Awards. Just use a light dumbbell. Try to contract and control each rep. Use a full range of motion. You really want to squeeze the top as much as you can. Also try to avoid using your abs or your lats to crunch. Next is going to be the dumbbell forward neck flexion. So this is, I'm using a milk carton to pad the head, but you can use a towel as well. A towel is probably preferable because if the milk explodes, that is going to be very messy. A towel cannot explode because a towel does not have liquid inside of it, probably. And this one is going to work the front of the neck, but it's also going to work the sides as well, especially if you use full range of motion. Alright, that is it for today. Make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, and I will see you next time. Peace!